Hi, ma'am.
Hi, ma'am.
Evening.
Good
Risha,
evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
How are you doing?
Good evening, ma'am.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, ma'am.
Evening. How are you doing?
Good, ma'am. How are you doing?
So, Risha and Bhavna, can you turn on the camera? Hello. How are you?
Fine, ma'am. How are you?
Oh, nice, nice. I am also fine. Thank you for joining us. It is so nice to see you, Bhavna and Risha, both here, and you're looking lovely, as like always. So, before I start with the session, I would like to welcome everyone. If parents and students have joined, my name is Anjali Ahuja, and I am the HOD Biology plus Academic Manager here at askIITians. And I take biology subject for all the grades, and especially who are preparing for NEET exam plus Olympiad also. The reason why we have kept the session because we have multiple students here who have done studies at askIITian, who have given their NEET, which is the medical entrance exam in India, and they have taken admissions in multiple colleges. But we wanted to take benefit so that other students can also listen to their seniors and they can understand that how to manage the study and how these your seniors have been managing everything because they have been taking classes with askIITian plus they have been managing multiple school things as like all of you are going to. You people are also having askIITian classes. You people are also having your school exam. There happen to be time where you feel little stressed, where you feel that this is too much to cover and stuff, but I always say that you can have your mind to have a practical thought process because whatever you are doing you have to go for the competition, whatever subject, whatever grade, you have to be very competitive in the present time. We don't know what happen in coming future, in coming years academically in India, but at present we need to be very competitive so that once what we want to do, what we have decided, that we will be ready, we will be ready to be in the ground. And we have your seniors who were there with us last year. They have done their 11th and 12th and they have given NEET exam. We have Risha and Bhavna, and they were they have given NEET exam, which is the medical entrance exam in India. Every year, almost 20 lakh students give this exam, guys. 20 lakh plus students give this exam because they want to be doctors. And there are few percentage of these students who are able to do the paper and just be at the place where they want to be. And Risha and Bhavna have recently taken admission in a college. Congratulations to both of you. And I wish you very good luck. I am sure that you are going to be very favorite doctors of your patient. I'm because I know your personality, both of you. And I always say I have said this to you on, when I was texting you also. So good luck to you for your studies. And today the session has been kept where all the students also will be putting queries for you, and I wish you good luck for that. And obviously they are all juniors, you should be feeling very confident. It is also a very good feeling to feel the senior, and I will also be asking question on their behalf. You people can put your questions in the chat. I will be opening YouTube channel also, but before that let's over to Risha and Bhavna. They can give their short introduction if they want to add something, and then we will start interacting with you. So over to you, Risha, first.
So, hello everyone. I'm Risha Pandit from Jubail, Saudi Arabia. I've been studying with askIITians since 9th grade, and I've given NEET recently in 2024 and scored 530. I'm currently admitted to GMERS Medical College, Gandhinagar, which is in Gujarat, and I'm so excited to be here today.
That's so nice. And Bhavna?
Yes, hello everybody. I am Bhavna Ramanathan, and I have 3 years associated with askIITians from 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade. I cleared NEET this year, 2024, and I currently got admission in Jubilee Mission Medical College, Thrissur, for MBBS.
Oh, that's nice. So I think I can start asking questions, and I'm sure all of you are already understanding the vibe of the session because there are multiple students in the class. I already am very excited to see this much, there's so many students in the class right now, and who will be waiting to see you, will be answering questions. So Bhavna, we will start from you. I'm going to ask you questions, and you can just guide them because right now these all students are your junior who are waiting that someone will be the sunshine to tell them how they can make the difference on the same pathway. So, what subject did you focus on the most, and why while you were preparing for NEET exam?
So initially, I focused mostly on physics because naturally it's the hardest subject. It needs most practice. I neglected biology a lot. And that was a mistake that I realized only when I started giving the mock tests and I saw how bad I was at biology. So later on, I started focusing more on biology, which definitely helped because almost half of the marks of the complete paper is dedicated to biology. So bio should be your strong suit. You might think it's easy and keep it off, but it's not. So yeah, that's the priority I kept for the subject. Chemistry was always there. Consistency was there with chemistry for me.
Thank you. This is what whenever any student who come for PCB subject, the first thing I'm like, okay, physics is important. Physics is important. That's the pain point. So it's really nice that you have picked that pain point. And Risha, one question for you. How was your daily study routine like?
My daily study routine would be usually it started with the school because morning we have to attend the school and about half the day would be there. And I feel I did go to the school very rigorously. Like I didn't neglect it like most of them might do. Because it's very important, when you attend school and then you attend classes, it's like you're doing the same subject twice. So I felt attending school was important and I did attend. And after school, I would get a couple of hours for refreshment and, relaxing. And then there would be askIITian classes. So I would revise before askIITian classes because, I feel revision is very important. And then after the classes, again, I would get a couple of hours before sleeping and I would study usually at that time. I was more of a night study kind of a person. So I would study at night. And yeah, that was what it was.
Thank you. Yes, admin, I am taking care. People are in waiting room. I'm allowing it. Thank you. And thank you so much, Risha, for sharing this because everyone in the class right now, they are going through that same thing, how to manage and stuff. And also I tell the students that if there is a lag or something, you can always shift things to weekend and your holidays. So that's what. So Zohreen, one student is there from 11th class. She has a question. Ma'am, my question is to Risha ma'am. How did she give her NEET exam in Saudi or in India? And if in Saudi, how and where did she register in Saudi?
Yeah, I did give NEET in Saudi Arabia because, I live in Jubail, I'm from Jubail, so I had to go to Riyadh, and there's just one center in the country, so it's in Riyadh, and I felt giving it outside, like outside India, it's better because it's more calm and I feel it's more organized. The NRI centers are more organized, and I felt it went really well, very smooth from the center's point of view, and I think it was more easy for me to perform, and it was really good giving outside India.
Nice. I actually am also, this interaction is useful for me also. Acha, one student is having doubt. Risha, I'll ask that again from you. Ma'am, one doubt, how do they balance school and askIITian life? Though Milan, she has taken that question, but if you want to add something.
I think, see, it's as I said, I feel like when we go to school, we do study something from the teachers over there, and they have their own perspective of teaching, the way they teach, the tricks that they have. And see, again, askIITians, I think it's for in-depth studies, and all the teachers in askIITians are very supportive and they give you individual attention and they teach you in depth of every subject. But studying in school as well is very important because I feel it's like a capsule, the school might go at a different pace than askIITians, but it's very important that you manage both of them and go along with both of them. Whatever you study in school, make sure that you retain whatever is taught in the school itself. Like, don't carry it over or don't try missing classes in the school or anything like that. It might be exhausting, but I think you do have weekends if you in case have any backlogs or you want to revise 11th grade, like if you come to 12th grade, then you might have to revise 11th as well. So there is weekend always, and again, the exhaustion factor is there, but I think it's fun also, you're with your friends and you're studying. So I think it should not be that difficult, but again, it depends whether you are studying in India or Saudi. For me here, it was pretty easy.
Thank you so much. So Bhavna, over to you. How did you prioritize your study topic?
Yes, so I usually prioritized it by seeing where I was lacking. And to know where you're lacking, you need to give mock tests. So suppose I give a mock test today, I mess up in physics. Now, mock test I give tomorrow, I'll mess up in bio. Wherever I mess up, that topic would be my focus for the next day. The next day full, I'll focus on that and other topics as well. But mostly I'd focus on the parts where I'm lacking. So I can cover more of the stuff as well. I'm sure right now, if you're in 12th grade, you'll have 11th grade backlogs and you'll be wondering how to cover it and all. So yeah, this is how you can cover it using mock tests and finding where you're lacking.
That's awesome. Achha, by the way, Bhavna, there's one question. Parth is asking. I have a question for both of them. What is the most efficient way of studying?
There is no efficient way of studying that is the Bible for everybody. It is going to be different for each and every one of you. One thing that you need to know is you need to find out which time it is that you are most open to taking in knowledge. For me, it used to be either early in the morning or late at night. If I sit in the afternoon, no matter how much I try, I cannot retain information. So you need to find which time it is that you are most productive. And yeah, that's it. It's a trial and error method.
That's true. Even I said this to students. Sometimes, parents and many people say ki early morning study and all that. But I believe wherever you're comfortable. I was comfortable late night study. Matlab, I was living with my roommate. I used to tell this. I used to sleep by 2 or 3 p.m. AM actually. And I used to wake her up because she was a morning person. I was not. But usko main uthati thi and I used to sleep after that. So this is how things we were managing. So it's very awesome, Bhavna. So nice. Acha, one more question is there from Dev. Ma'am, I have a doubt. How do you manage getting burnt out, tired after studying for a long time together? Let's say you have an exam tomorrow with some chapters left. So you can't afford to leave it. That's the question.
I feel that used to happen a lot, especially with some main exams coming up. It could be NEET, it could be board exams coming up. That used to happen. You always feel like you're not done. You always feel like there's something more that I can study. For me, it used to be like I used to take power naps. That was the most efficient way that I felt. I mean, no, power nap is not everyone's cup of tea. I don't know if everybody can do that, but 10 minutes of sleep and then I wake up completely fresh. So my burnout ways were that someone else might try meditation or maybe going for a jog or walk or yoga or anything that's effective for them. But for me, it was power naps.
That's awesome. By the way, one question is for you, Risha. Again, same question, but you can this time answer quickly. Hello, ma'am. I had a question for Risha again. How did she manage school tasks with her askIITian and self-study? Maybe you can repeat.
School task, yeah, the school task would be, I feel like my school didn't give me a lot of homework. It used to be more of class-oriented job and, studying in class and whatever. See, sometimes there used to be some probably test, maybe small tests that they used to give in the school that they would ask you to come prepared for. I feel it would never be a problem if you study whatever is taught the same day itself. If some chapter is taught today and you study today itself, it won't be a backlog or it won't create any kind of problem when the test comes up. It just takes a hardly 5 or 10-minute revision for you to, cover that up. So I felt there was no much schoolwork for me. So I felt it was easier to handle that.
It was so awesome. It was so awesome. And I have complained for every student right now because you people create lots of backlogs. I always tell you because multiple students in this right now in the meeting are from my batch. You always do, backlog bhar ke you have. So you are listening it from Risha. She is telling that there should be no backlog, real time learning. I'm like giving you homework, asking question, and then, ma'am, I did not do it. By the way, my chat is getting flooded with multiple, I'm just copy pasting it. Just a second. Huh? I think I'm just copying your messages, guys, so that, let me just say. Okay. Okay. So now next question. I'm going to take these questions also. Wait a second. Achha, one more question, Risha, I will ask. Then, one is from Abdul Malik. Ma'am, my questions from Risha ma'am is how did she manage time for chemistry and physics?
Chemistry, I felt chemistry was something that went hand in hand. Chemistry for me, I was taught by Anik sir in the class, and he would give maybe some test or maybe some module exercises or something that's not very time consuming, but at the same time you can gather all the information and knowledge. That does not take a lot of time. That takes maybe hardly 30 minutes or something. And again, as I said, if you study whatever is taught on the same day itself, it does not accumulate so much. And that's how I did chemistry. Physics for me, it was a vast subject, and it was slightly the difficult one out of the three. And I would keep physics for the weekends, because I needed long attention span for doing physics, be it the questions or maybe even the theory part. I needed a lot more time. So physics was something that I did in the weekends, and chemistry was a very everyday thing for me that I did.
My chat is like literally flooded right now. Bhavna, I have one question for you. I have a list of questions. Okay, so Bhavna, I have a question regarding exam strategy. How did you approach difficult questions during the exam?
So there are different types of difficult questions. If suppose there's one question which comes from a topic that you're familiar with, but you don't know how to approach the question. So for such questions, if it's a statement-based question, for me in my NEET exam, most of the questions were statement-based. So if it's a statement-based question, you read it twice. If you still don't get it, you leave it. You leave it for later. I'm not saying leave it as in don't attempt it at all. And then there's another type of difficult question where you have no idea what's going on. Right. For those questions, usually whenever I got them, I gave an educated guess because why not? Right. So for the other question though, if I was sure that this is not the answer, I did not attempt it at all. As in, if the topic is familiar with me, I know that this isn't right and this might be right. Right. So when I was confused, I did not attempt it. If I have no idea, I take the risk.
Mind already know. The paper is in front of you now. You already know we know this question or not. So you should be able to decide very quickly whether you can solve it or not. You can't just move because you need to save time also. There's the time management that you need to take care of. And
definitely don't waste time in one question itself. Read it twice. If you don't get it, leave it. That's
how did they handle freedom after NEET? Did they go wrong after tasting the freedom of not studying for a while?
Ma'am, could you repeat it? I couldn't hear it.
The question is how you're managing right now. NEET is done. So are you enjoying the freedom? What are you doing?
So when I was studying for NEET, my motivation was that after my NEET exam, I can be free. But after my NEET exam, because most of the time I spent studying, I didn't know what to do. I had nothing to do. So I started new hobbies. I learned how to crochet. I started reading a lot. And yeah, right now I'm just rotting in bed all day. That's all I do.
What are you doing?
That's just I crochet, I read, I eat, I sleep. That's it.
Which are you? Eat, sleep.
Ma'am, again, I think I have a very similar answer. There's to be a lot of time spent studying before NEET, that after NEET, it's like there's absolutely nothing. And it has been 5 months since we gave NEET, and there's been a lot of time. I started the habit of reading.
Guys are turning into pandas or something. Just But anyways,
Yeah,
I just recommend one thing. You can start learning little cooking because maybe in hostel or something, it'll be useful for you, right? Just a suggestion.
Yeah, I did learn about
Yeah, so that should not be the life I want. So maybe you can try that part right now. Okay? Acha, I would like to read messages. Zoreen, you were asking about the cutoff. I'll take that question in the class also. Ma'am, is it important to start covering syllabus of higher grades? Is it important to start covering syllabus of higher grades? I would like to take that question, Asha, that 11th and 12th are extended version of 9th and 10th. So if you're in 9th or 10th, you should start putting efforts right now because you'll be learning the same. It will be same plate, but that plate will be like larger size, Okay. So one question is there, Risha. I am a 9th grader and I have no idea from where I start my journey with especially maths and physics. Like how do I deal with this subject? Kindly advise.
Maths and physics, yeah, I sometimes, especially when you start from the ninth grade, when I was in ninth grade, I do remember being overwhelmed with all the information coming in. And it does take a lot of time to, adjust with it. But eventually, when you get through it, I think it has been a couple of months since you're in ninth grade now. So I don't know if you're comfortable with a lot of information, because especially in askIITians, you're taught a lot more than the books. It goes beyond the books. And ninth is somewhere related to 11th, there's an extension. So I would say, start from the module, just cover the module, and if you do module itself in ninth grade, I think it's more than sufficient. You're already learning something beyond ninth already, and I feel that's enough for ninth. You do that, and do that honestly. Like, it's not that I'll do 5 questions and leave the rest of them. Do the entire module nicely, attend all the classes very rigorously, interact with the teacher, try to find what areas you're lagging in, what you can improve before you get into 11th and 12th, because having a strong foundation in 9th and 10th, which I'm grateful for, because I had it, it made it a lot easier. 11th and 12th grade were a lot easier because 9th and 10th were strong. So try doing module and just make your foundation really strong. It does help. So yeah.
Bhavna, one question for you, question directed at both of you, but Bhavna, can you take, I always find myself spending too much time on few chapters and too little time on other chapters. How do you manage your time while studying?
For me, I used to be partial towards chemistry because I understood chemistry. Right? I used to procrastinate doing physics because it was hard. I used to procrastinate doing bio because it was easy.
So now you
So,
learn, you don't have to repeat it, okay? Yeah.
Yes, so that is a realization that I had very late. So you need to get that into your head that you need to start focusing on other things as well. All right, that is a realization that should come from within. You need to motivate yourself to go for the other chapters. You can't just say that, okay, I'm only focusing on this, I can't focus on that. You need just find some way, find some way to pique your interest in that chapter. That's it.
I sent a question that I think is kind of important. Can you address that?
Yes. I am in ninth now. For me, subject like SST, Hindi are much harder and need more attention. What should I focus more on?
I think, see, it does happen. I do understand when before 10th grade, you have additional subjects, and it's okay, because at this stage, when you're in 9th and 10th grade, those subjects are important as well. So let's say you're focusing on it during the weekdays, then spend weekends with science and maths, or the other way around, do SST and Hindi. Allot a specific amount of hour or time for that, so that you can finish your weekly goals. At least, let's say you need 3 hours or maybe 4 hours for SST, do that in the weekend if you can allot it in the weekend. If not, do it in the weekdays. Somehow you can manage, because I feel 9th and 10th grade, somewhere you have more time than when you will be in 11th and 12th, and you will realize it eventually. So it's okay, try managing time with the weekends and with the weekdays, and I think you can manage it that way.
Yes, definitely. And please do not ignore the subject because they will help you to get good marks. And it has happened. Matlab, I was watching 10th ke result, everyone 90 plus in science and maths, Hindi mein. Do not do that thing. By the way, this question is for both of you. Zakula from my batch has sent it, and I like the question because I'm just scrolling back. So, Risha and Bhavna, since they said they give NEET in 2024, I want to ask how they reacted to the news of paper leak and all. They want to know your reaction.
So initially, I was thinking why this is happening to me. What sins did I do in my past life for this to happen to me and all? But later on, when the possibility of a re-exam became very real, I was very convinced that I will not attempt the re-exam. I can repeat for a year, but I will not give it again this year because this year is messed up completely. I don't want to give another try. I was completely motivated to not give the exam.
It is hard, wrenching for me also. I was like so stressed. I was thinking about every single student, and I'm like, what to do? What to do? And I really, sometimes it's like, I don't want to talk about it, but we need to talk about it to get over it because we are at a better place now. So, Risha, what was your time? I know you have been through a hard time, and that time it was for everyone. Even a student who has achieved 700, 720 full marks, also, that person was also equally stressed. As simple as that. And why they're not. Look at their faces right now. So, it's very painful question that I have asked. Risha, if you want to add, I will not tell you to just give details, but tell us how did it go.
I think initially when that news came out, I felt like the initial mindset is that you just have to give NEET once. Nobody thinks about giving NEET twice, or maybe again the same kind of paper, that to same year, that to twice, because it's a re-exam. So initially it was kind of a shock, and I was again not prepared, but eventually I was mentally prepared if in case there would be a re-exam. And I wouldn't say I picked up the books to study, but I was in touch with the topics. So, just in case, you never know. So it was difficult phase, but I think now that it's over, it's so much better to know that, it was just one NEET and one year.
Well, it was very stressed. I mean, I imagine myself being a teacher also and being a parent also. I am in the stage in my life where I feel like, oh God, if I would have been parent, my child will be suffering through it. And if I'm the teacher, obviously and it's like, it was a, not a good time. And I don't want that any student should go through that. And if any NCRT person, any NTA person is listening to this, please take care of it. Thank you. Acha, by the way, one question for both of you. Again, I want both of you to answer. Question is about the group study. That do you think group study helps you to study more better, or it distracts? So we'll start from Risha, you first, and then Bhavna, you can take up. Yes.
Group study, I feel it depends on the group. It depends with the people you're friends with, the people you're studying with. So I felt for me, group studies usually don't work. So it's an individual opinion. But what does help is when you teach someone. I have experienced this, when we were in the school, maybe there's some test or something, and my friend sitting beside me would ask, can you please explain this to me? And when I explained a topic from my point of view to someone else, it does help. It helps to retain, because once you're recalling it, and again somebody else is gaining through it as well. So try teaching someone, or maybe you can have a proper question answer type. But group study, that too with some big group, I don't think it works for me. So it was not my thing.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so question again. Acha, so Bhavna, can you take up this question?
As Risha said, teaching definitely helps. My classmates and all, when we had a test for discussion, they'd come up to me, they'd ask me doubts, I'd ask them doubts. Teaching them and them giving their perspective on the answers definitely helped. Other than that, group studies never worked for me. I used to be the person who gets most distracted in group studies. I used to chat a lot. So again, it depends on the person as well. My mom, for example, my mom only studied using group studies. That was the only thing that worked for her. So yes.
Group study is best a day before the exam, when you have multiple topics and that you have not done. Ab nahi pada, so I used to do that in masters. We were like group of 7-8 people, and we would distribute the topic. This topic you do, this topic you do, and we would sit in the group for like 2-3 hours, and then one by one, just what topic hota tha, that person will teach. And obviously, your learning is much better when you are learning it from your age group, and because your mind think that they are not judging you. So even if you ask stupid question, right? The worst of the worst question. So it's very natural, human nature. So yeah, it's definitely thumbs up for that. And both of you also have given thumbs up for that. So yes. Acha, I want Bhavna one more question. I am a 9th grader. How I am supposed to finish 2 physics chapter, but I can't understand the concept of it. It's a question from some student.
Right. So in 9th grade, physics and mathematics is very hard. Everyone knows that. But if there's a concept that you don't understand, you try to see some videos, you ask doubts, you get a DRS session. You try to make it interesting. As I said, when the subject is interesting, when you feel like you understand it, it automatically becomes a good subject for you. You'll automatically start scoring marks. So just try to make it interesting. That's it.
Mind ko thoda, be tricky to yourself, to your mind, that, oh, you like it. Oh God, we have a very biggest question, and I want to read it, Bhavna, to you. एक मिनट अक्षिता कितना बड़ा मैसेज टाइप कर दिया. Ma'am, my question is that I have to revise what is done in my school and askIITians. Then do homework of both. Prepare for exam in both. And I also need to go for both extracurricular. Eat, sleep, do course. At the end of the day, I'm completely exhausted. I wake up at 5:30 a.m. and by the time I sleep at 11:30 p.m. And if by mistake I break the chain, then the week or sometimes even months get disturbed. How did Risha and Bhavna overcome when they broke their split? Clap, clap, because everyone right now is feeling this thing in this group right now. So take the question.
For me, I utilized all gaps of free time that I had. Like, for example, again, before going to school, I would study for some time. And then in the school bus, when I used to have this notebook where I kept notes for organic reactions, formulae, physics formulae, whatever it is that I need to study. So in the bus also, I used to study. In the time in class, before the teacher came, I used to utilize that time. You might think it's just a small gap of time. What can you achieve by doing it? But it builds up. It builds up in your memory. It stays in your head. So that way you can cut off the time that you keep for your daily revision. That is your daily revision. What you learn in class, immediately you try to retain that information. As Risha suggested multiple times, that is the best way for revision. For extracurriculars, again, you need to make time for that. You can't do anything about that. But you cut off whatever you can by utilizing these free spaces of time that you definitely have. You might think you have no time at all. But if you actually sit and introspect, you'll have a lot of time that you can utilize.
Risha, want to add something?
I think I do agree with what Bhavna said, but to add on, I would say that let's say you have a lot of things on your plate and you just don't know where exactly to start from. Try making a plan. Write things down. What exactly do you want to revise? What exactly new do you want to learn? Or what are the tasks that you want to do? When you write it down on a paper, you'll realize that things become so much more easier. In your head, it's more complicated. You write things down and then you see your schedule, whatever, extracurricular, school, homework, or whatever you have, you'll see that you can make time somewhere. It could be maybe 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes, but that time does matter. And about sleep, yeah, I mean, 5-6 hours, it does become challenging, but again, weekends are there for that. Extracurriculars, I don't know, you have to make time, but write it down, whatever you have, and it becomes so much easier.
It is all about priority. Right now, people, if you're thinking that, you need to enjoy, you need to have fun, and then you need to study, you need to set the priority. They had their priority set that I want to go for the NEET exam. And they have used that free spaces also for that. You're getting my point. And it is not about breaking the chain. It is about just taking up all the pieces and making, something out of it. You have your holidays, you have weekends. So all the pending work you can shift at that time. And throughout the week, you can do your school work. So it is okay sometimes to break the chain, but you need to, when you break the chain, you should be having this thing in your mind that do I have the backup? Like Abhi, I have the holidays. So now I can break the chain because I have holidays. So I have 4 holiday, 5. So you should you should be breaking the chain, I will suggest. But when you have a backup plan for that, that's when you should. Otherwise, yeah, it's really tough for being a student, especially you are preparing for the competitive exam. And if you have made your mind that you want to go for the competition, then nothing should be a problem, right? Because you have made your mind. So your priority changes. Okay. Their feedback preference. Okay, so this is very tricky question. Risha, first I'll ask it to you. My question is to seek their feedback on preference for offline class or online class.
I think it's an individual preference. For me, I felt online classes are so much better. One, it saves a lot of time and energy, and you have extra time. Again, as I said, if you have a tight schedule or maybe you have backlogs and everything, every hour counts. If we say you're going for offline classes, then traveling does take a lot of time and everything. Individual preference, again, those who can focus on online, it's really good, and I feel I can do that sitting online. But if you're someone who cannot concentrate while in online, then offline is the best option. But I feel overall online has so much more benefits if you can make use of it properly. So I would go for online.
Oh, that's nice. That's awesome. And especially in bio, I love online classes because there's so many simulations and images that any person can use. I just love online classes for that. And Bhavna, I would like to ask this question to both of you. I will ask this question. Two people have asked a question, but it is similar. I'm reading both of it. How did you all manage after NEET like result stress? Did you all already have a guess what was your score? Second, how do you manage with the fear factor before appearing for exam or while studying? So they both are related to fear. One is before exam and one is after the result time. So how would you take on that? What will be?
So before exam, I'm someone who gets stressed very easily. So every time it would get a lot, I would go to speak to someone, my parents or my brother or the askIITians faculty or my friend, anyone. I just let out all my worries, everything that I did today, everything that I plan on doing tomorrow, everything that I did not understand. everything. I just let it out to them. They'd give suggestions, comforting me. I didn't listen to all that. I just wanted to tell them what I was going through. And that helped me a lot. Another thing you can do is you can go out for walks, especially when the sun is down, at like late evening or early morning walks. It's really nice. It's very refreshing for the mind. Puts your head off it. Or you can lie down, listen to some music, calm yourself down. That helped me a lot. After the exam, for the result thing, that was a stress on a whole other level. I had all the time in the world only to stress on about this. So yeah, I myself don't know how I managed to do that. I was stressed all the time, with my head on my hand on my head all the time. I have pictures also. My parents and all, whenever they saw me sitting like this, they took pictures. So yeah, that is something that I cannot give advice on.
Right. I really appreciate. And by the way, I just love the suggestion. कोई भी tension हो सो जाओ, because I used to follow that. Go out for a walk, go out for a shopping, just so जाओ, or maybe that's the best option. You're stressed, just sleep. Seriously, sleeping is the best thing when you're stressed. It is the best thing. So Risha, what's your take on that?
Honestly, I slept as well. I was a person who was like, if I get too much stressed, I'll just go and sleep. As I said, I was a very more of a power nap person. 10 minutes and all of my head is cleared. Like I have no stress. I feel like a new person after 10 minutes nap, honestly. I used to do that and it worked really well for me. So I used to do as I said, power naps or maybe sometimes meditation or a walk or journaling. Journaling did help as well. Let's say you're more stressed. That was before exam. After the exam, stress again, as I said, was a whole different level. There's no certain way that you can handle it. I think everybody stresses about it, about this goal. You worked hard. The only key is that you know that you have worked hard for 2 years really well, and you know whatever the result is, you just need to accept it. And I think that's what I did.
I just love it because, meditation, student tells sleeping is equal to meditation. Trust me on that. Because your mind is clear after that. Whenever you're confused, let your mind be clear. And how do you do that? That's your take. Achha, by the way, there's so many messages right now that we made a question here that we both are going to, ask you. But multiple, there are 10, 12 messages entered right now, and pehle ki bhi I copied. Anyways, how would you be motivated or refreshed after a bad or tireful day? Because sometimes you just don't feel like studying or don't have the strong motivation. And some motivation I experience doesn't last long. What is a good long-lasting motivation?
There
Tell
is
us.
no long-lasting motivation. All right. Then it's like, okay, I'll give you an example. For me, I used to reread favorite books of mine, things that I've read multiple times. Yet reading something that I'm familiar with helped me calm down. When I was sad, I used to listen to sad music. I used to cry to the sadness. When you cry, you let it out. That's it. You let all your emotions out somehow, either by talking, by crying, whatever it is. You automatically feel calm. Everyone here seems to talk about how sleeping helps. So me, even if I sleep in my dreams, also I'll be stressed. So sleeping was not an option for me. So I used to do activities, read, write, whatever it is, listen to music, work, whatever it is. Keep my mind fresh.
And there's one more question. How do you overcome burnout? It's all sleeping, resting, keeping your mind right. Regarding 10th, how many months before exam do you? Okay, so the one question is related 10th class. How many months before board exam do you study and how do you revise board?
10th grade honestly is like 2 years back now, so exactly I can't pinpoint, but I again, as I said, I was a person who believed in day-to-day study. It's not that you keep everything for the end, you keep everything before the board exams. I was someone who did it day-to-day wise or weekly wise or monthly wise, and I used to cover the things that I study then and there itself. So there was no much additional stress. Revision was a thing. Again, let's say I studied something 2-3 months back, then I would revise it in the weekends or something. I think revision and everything should start at least 2 months before. Like if you have boards in February, March, December, January, I feel is the right time that you start revising and, maybe give some papers and everything. So I think, yeah, that's a good idea.
So by the way, there's one question. I would like to take that question. Akshita is asking. But there are times you felt pressurized but could not do anything and started to talk yourself in front of the mirror. Yes, I have done that. Risha, have you? Bhavna, have you? Matlab, tu manoge nahi, when it is my birthday, I'm the first person to wish me up. I just stand in the front of mirror and I wish myself, happy birthday, you're this and that, wish you this and that. So it is like, you're giving importance to yourself, but they are saying that they also have done it. You want to add something? Bhavna, you want to, Risha?
For me, I mentioned, right, I love talking to people about my miseries. So I used to talk to myself also. If nobody's around, I'd tell myself all the sad stories about my life. That also used to help. Self-therapy.
It's normal. It's not, if you're talking to yourself, it is normal because you are the safe place for yourself, because you can share that you cannot share with anyone, and you're talking it out. That means you're taking it out, then you're taking it in. There's a long pathway that you're following, and your mind is actually getting relaxed. Yes. Okay. I have a question regarding 10th board. What mistake should I avoid in high school? Okay, don't be distracted. I will take that question. Don't be distracted, and make management, as in terms of that there should not be a lag, no procrastination. Somebody is telling you, if your teacher is telling you do this, do that, because they know better than you. Okay, ma'am, can you please ask my question? Jonathan, wait. Oh God, there are multiple questions. Jonathan, can you? Acha, Jonathan, jaldi bolo. Speak it up.
Yeah. So the thing is, I always find myself like what I do is I study. I put too much emphasis on certain chapters, and I end up having little to no time to study for the other chapters. So like what I do is like the first five chapters, I'll spend like 4 hours on each chapter, and I'll end up with like 1 hour or half an hour for the other ones. So how do you manage your time, especially while you're revising before the exam? I'm not from a day-to-day study point of view, but a revision point of view.
I feel the best way to do this, it does happen again, as I said, it does happen for me. And the best way to counter this would be start by giving a test. Start by testing your knowledge, what is already retained in your head. It's not always a good idea to keep on studying. Maybe you already know the topic, it's already there in your head, but still you would prefer studying it and spending 4 5 hours on it. Instead, start with a test, see what you exactly know and what you don't, and focus on more what you don't know rather than studying what you already know. I feel that might save a lot of time, so that whatever time you have saved, you can utilize it with the other chapters or other subjects, and I feel that's useful.
Thank you so much.
For me, can I also add on to it?
Yeah, sure.
I used to have a similar study pattern to that. Initial first few chapters, I would study very thoroughly. Towards the end, I would lose the consistency. So I would say while revising, I focused only on the chapters that I didn't touch much. Right. If I've done that, the first few chapters for 4 5 hours properly, I'm confident about it, I won't go back to it. On the day before the exam, just for 1 hour maximum, you spend to revise those topics. The topics that you're not sure with, that is the only priority for you at that moment, right before the exam, I would say. But don't keep all new topics for the last moment, because then you'll be tense.
I'm feeling, very happy also, a little sad also, because my chat is flooded with multiple questions, and I'm not able to take like all of it. Literally, I've copied all of it, and I don't know, like, I'm just taking maximum questions. So people in the class, if you feel that your question is not taken, please WhatsApp kar do. You people all are added. I have copied all the chat, but last ka bhi I have to copy again. And I can take your questions again. I can keep one more session, and I'll be taking all the questions, or maybe I can reply you on some other way. But thank you. And I would like to add some question. One question is two time. Kisne pucha? Ek second. Asha has sent it like 2 times. Ma'am, can we continue a side hobby like playing any sport while studying till 10th?
Of course, definitely. I used to have the side hobby of reading. Rather than sleeping, I used to read all day, all night, actually. So that is very important. You cannot bury yourself in studies completely and look out for results. That's not going to work out at all. You need something to stimulate your mind in a different way.
No, happy.
Definitely.
I would like to take one question. Ma'am, when I'm learning for exam, I get all the concept, but if exam or I forget the answer. There is a thing called brushing. You know, you do brushing your teeth daily. You do not wear the same clothes. You have to wash it up again and again. That's what your brain is. You need to brush it up over and over, and you need to revise up. Otherwise, you cannot think na ki ek bar kapda dho liya to you just wear it for years. Doesn't happen. It will stink, and so is your studies. It will stink. That should not happen. You should clean it up. You should revise it up. As simple as that. Okay? Acha. So Nandini has a question. How do you study physics? It's a pain.
I studied physics mostly using questions. Firstly, if there are derivations and formulae, go through that. But then again, go for the questions only. Don't waste your time in theory too much. Just questions, that's it.
Thank you. Risha, one question for you. Did you, वैसे तो ये question दोनों के लिए है, but let me just cut it short. Do you both have a dream college? And if you do not achieve, how do you handle the pressure?
See, I think at the end of the day, you can't control the result. You can only control the hard work that you put in. So the efforts that you put in, that should be honest. Dream is always there. You know, it's always something that you want to achieve, but not always you can achieve. You know, it's like you shoot for the stars and you at least get the moon. It's like that. You accept whatever you get, but the effort should be honest. I feel the efforts is what that matters, not the result. Let's say you don't get the dream college, whatever you still get, you know, it's a college again. So just be happy with whatever you get. And I think that's something that I've
The
done.
time you spoke the sentence, your mental age has been increased in my mind. You're speaking like a 30-year-old person in your mind. And I really like it. Very nice. I mean, you are taking it very practically. The approach, you have a grown-up mind in few months, I'll say, Disha. Nice. Bhavna, you want to add something?
I did have a dream college and I did not get into it. I wanted to get into CMC Vellore and I obviously did not. I was very disappointed about it. But again, what can you do? That's it. That's life, you know. Happens. That's it. You move on.
There are multiple ways, you know. If you're not doing this, you have graduation, you have masters, you have MD, and multiple things, right? You need good tags, and you need, so it's like you have, you know, life is giving you opportunity to give NEET exam and be a doctor. But then after that, there are two more opportunity to be at a better place, and definitely you all will be, right? Keep being honest with yourself. Okay, ma'am, my question is how to avoid distraction when you're studying.
It depends what your distraction is. If your distraction is phone, then there are so many apps on phone which seizes the phone for a certain period of time. You know, there are a lot of apps that I don't know the name of right now, but that works. If not, go for Pomodoro technique. That works as well, where maybe your attention span might be 30 minutes or 1 hour. Be completely far away from your distraction at that moment at least, and then take a break. That might help. So it depends what your distraction is, but it's best to not have distraction at all. But if you do, I think everybody does. It's better as less as it is. So yeah.
Or maybe if you're distracted a little more, tell your parents that schedule a PTM with me. I'll burn some fire. Okay. Some firecrackers. Which time you like a quick distraction. But yeah, your mind should be at peace. Your mind should be committed to your work, because then you will not have to, you know, hard work throughout the life. If you do hard work now, you definitely will be at good place and you will happily be working hard because that's what you wanted, right? Okay, let me read one more question. Our time is already getting up. We will be there for next few minutes, but I assure that if you people have any, you know, question or something, please ping me up on WhatsApp. I'll just collate it and I'll do something. Maybe I can create FAQs and I can share it with all. I am really liking this question. I am having my science exam on Saturday. Should I do MCQs first or long questions? And what order will be ideal and best? Who will take the question? Anyone?
Which grade is this person in?
Akshad Ravi, you're in 10th. Sorry, he was in 9th class last year with me. Yeah, 10th.
So when I used to prepare for 9th and 10th grade exams, I did not really practice questions. I just did theory. So that's what my method was.
That's not good. You have to practice, guys.
But I used to somehow get the marks also. But theory was the only thing that I did. I couldn't focus on questions when I was preparing.
Let me tell you, Bhavna and Risha has good writing skills. Their diagram was nice. Whenever they used to write and send it to me, I would appreciate. So that skill was there inbuilt, and you people need to practice on that. So there is a difference. Okay, you need to understand. Okay, how do you decide which exam to choose? Like either to give NEET or JEE or SAT? Okay, that's career deciding question. You want to take it, or shall I just keep on that?
I mean, I always wanted to do NEET. I was very sure about it. So I didn't face this dilemma. So I don't think I can comment on this. So, no.
For me, I was very sure that I don't want to take maths. So NEET was my only other options. That's how I went with NEET.
Your brain, your mind, your heart just take you in that direction. I just suggest that if you people are confused, you should start exploring right now. You should see lifestyle of a doctor, engineer, whatever you want to be, wherever you want to be, see the lifestyle and ask yourself, can you imagine yourself for being having that lifestyle? Because your study is temporary. You people are going to study for like 10 years, 12 years, and after that you will have a permanent job to do. So would you like to have a lifestyle like that for a long time? So that's a question you should ask. And you can start exploring JEE NEET pattern exam syllabus. Your mind and your heart will tell you where it is taking you to. That's how you decide. Okay. Did you get compared? How did you deal with inferiority? Did you feel that everyone is just so much better than you? Okay. It's a human question that happened with everyone. Okay. Bhavna, you want to say something?
For me, I used comparison and competition as a way of motivation, which is something that you should definitely not do. Because even in one instance where you may fall behind from others that you're being compared with, you will feel devastated. There's no way for you to get back up. You feel demotivated for the rest of the day, for the rest of the week even. So comparison should not be your priority right now. You will be compared. If that is again, as ma'am mentioned, that it's human nature. People will want to compare you with other people in your age group, in your study group, etc. So you just listen from one ear, put it from the other ear out. That's it.
Sure. You want to say something?
Oh, yeah, ma'am, for me, I feel comparison is something from outside. If people do, they do. I mean, you just cannot control it. But personally, on a personal level, I'm someone who did not compare myself with anyone. For me, I was my own comparison. Like I would see my result with my past result. Have I grown or have I improved from before? And when I did that, I felt like, yeah, sometimes I have improved and sometimes I've not. And if you see in a bigger perspective, at the end of the day, there's always going to be someone who's better than you, and there's always going to be someone who's not up to you. So it's always there. You cannot control it. You cannot control how others study or how others perform. What you can control is how you perform. So I would say that try growing and try improving in comparison to yourself rather than someone outside. And that's when I feel you really grow. And I've seen my personal growth that way. So it does help.
Thank you. I agree with you both, Bhavna and Risha. That comparison, you won't believe. I being in this age group, I have still seen elderly people comparing a 40-year man with some other men who is married, but they are comparing the salaries. How much you are earning, how much you are earning. You should do something. This comparison never ends. You have to take action on them. You are a person, you will be deciding how you're going to react to it. Because it's your decision how you react, right? It's your mind, it's you are going to take that action. So let yourself not be compared with anyone. If it is done, obviously it will be done. Just do not react to it. You should not give reaction to it. Reaction as in because you're a calm personality. Stay calm. It is okay. It is okay. Comparison is what? Like, I will be like, if I start comparing with myself with Ambani's, I will not sleep for years. Is it good? Like, we all have a life. It is okay. Everyone have their own life and everyone have their own journey. It's totally fine. We have to take command of our life. Fine. Take a chill pill on that. I'm best. We are the best person ever. And if we are comparing to you, just compare you with yourself. What you are today, what you will be. And you have to try always and always making yourself a better person. That's what you should try for. And you definitely are getting better, right? Acha, one question. That's the last question. I am still feeling little sad because there are multiple, my chat is full with multiple questions. But I want to take that last question. That person is putting it over and over again. So that'll be, and our time will be over then. Ma'am, what should we do? Like in my classes, at least students are giving IOQM. IQ, this is that Olympiad, and like they are covering 11th grade and appearing for Olympiad, and I'm still lacking behind. Okay. I think Ashish, you can try your weekends for askIITian module practice. If they are covering 11th class ka stuff for mathematical Olympiad, so you can try and you can take some doubt removal session. Why not? And if you don't have time, try shifting the work on your holidays, because abhi Diwali holidays, then Christmas holidays, then Acha Olympiad is in November next month, right? You should save some time. You should fix a time in daily slots, 15, 20, 1 hour, whatever time you get. You need to fill that space. Efforts in maths and physics you can do through solving numericals only. So how do I deal with that? Not all free time I can be occupied by solving numerical. How do I manage this? Do anyone want to take the question? I can repeat the question. I am repeating. Efforts in math and physics, you can do it through solving numericals only. So how do I deal with that? So that's how I deal with that. Not all free time can be occupied by solving numerical. Acha,
For
can
me,
you unmute and talk?
can I speak? I'll
Yeah.
tell my, yes, for me, when I had maths in 10th grade, maths used to be my weakest subject in 9th grade. So I decided to make a change. And in 10th grade, I dedicated the time after dinner to up to 12 midnight for practicing questions, only for maths. Right. I didn't do it every single day, every 2 days. I used to take gaps. But have that fixed time where you only do this. You have that consistent time, it will become a habit for you. It won't be a chore.
Thank you so much. It was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful session. I have stopped the chat because there are multiple questions. I repeat, I am so overwhelmed. And thank you so much, Risha and Bhavna, for giving you your wonderful and your very important time. Right now, you people are having your quality time. If you feel that you're not doing anything, actually you're doing. Your mind is at peace right now. You are making yourself mentally healthy. You can spend your time in just learning few things that you love. I was just giving you suggestions because you have to survive in hostel and in hospital also with your patients. So you should be seeing what scenario you will be in and how you can just be there. So good luck to you, wish you good luck, and thank you so much again for wonderful time. I'm sure everyone in this group right now, there were 50 plus students in the class, and they were on YouTube also. They were all listening to you, and you have helped them. Like seriously, I'm telling you, you have helped them. They are feeling at peace in their mind. I'm 1000% sure. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for having us here. Thank you.
Thank you, Beta.
Thank you,
Bye,
ma'am.
everyone. Thank you. Namaste. Bye bye. Take care. Good night. Shabba khair. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good night. Thank you, everyone. See you in the classes.
Thank you, ma'am.